Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Valerie Harris, and this is your Stepping Up and Stepping Out series, guys, that airs every Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. And like I tell you all, and those that are new, this series has been designed just for you, to inspire you, to encourage you, to empower its listeners to, guess what? Step up and step out of your comfort zone. And as an author, life purpose and empowerment coach and business consultant, I love helping women in leadership roles and entrepreneurs to build a business that creates financial freedom, a healthy lifestyle so that they can leave a legacy. So this evening, we will be talking to another upcoming co-author in the book called Influencers Stepping Out in Boldness. And her name is Dr. Yvonne Smith-Jones. And I will be bringing her to the screen in just a few minutes, because the first time when we become an author, it allows us to share our unique perspectives and insights and ideas. And it also positions us as a thought leader within our industry, distinguishing us with our competitors so that we can attract the attention from our peers and customers and even the media. So I'm about to bring to the screen right now Dr. Yvonne Smith-Jones. Hello, Dr. Jones. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm feeling fine today. Thank you for asking.
Yes, I'm so glad you are on the show with us, and we're just going to dive into the questions that we will be talking about concerning the book of you being a co-author in the new book called Influencers Stepping Out in Boldness. So, Dr. Jones, how did you approach the writing process for your chapter?
Well, first of all, when you were giving us information regarding the chapter, I really listened to you as you put emphasis on the word influencers and trying to make meaning of for me as to what that word meant and to put it into perspective. So that was the first thing. And then the next thing, recalling events and recalling experiences and putting words to those particular things. And then let the words become thoughts, and the thoughts become ideas, and the ideas become statements, and the statements conveying power. So going through that whole spectrum assisted me. And I had no idea that that was going on, because it was something that was unique and different. However, but it just unveiled itself.
Now, how did you feel when you were asked or approached to be a part of this collaboration?
Well, initially, I had many questions because I was like, what is it you want me to do? And I really wanted you to spoon feed me, to kind of walk me through your expectations. And you didn't do that. You wanted us to kind of make this you and who you are, and not to have a cookie cutter book, but to make sure that people had their own perceptions as to how we had operational defined the word influencers. Mm-hmm. So, I was a little different because I was looking for more directions.
But it worked out well for you.
It worked out well. It worked out well to be able to understand who you are and how you interpret and had defined the word influencer. So that it worked out very well.
Yes. Did you use a specific outline or strategy? Did you have a specific strategy in mind before starting, or did you let your ideas just flow organically?
Well, I think flow organically, because as I began to operationally define the word influencer to me, I had thoughts, and I started jotting down statements. And I was going back and recalling experiences and putting those experiences together. And then I was like, okay, so what am I saying? This looks like it looks messy. It looks like chaos. But I was able to take that chaos and really to form it then into some categories. And I said, oh, I've got something here. So I didn't know that was going to evolve, but it did.
Absolutely. And you all of you did an excellent job on writing your chapters. I just want to say that, up front. But did you have any challenges? Did you experience any challenges during the time of you writing your chapter, and if you did have any challenges, what did you do, or how did you overcome those challenges to continue the process?
Many challenges in doing it. And the biggest thing, the challenge of time, trying to find that time where I could actually spend to this particular project, being that I have many projects that I'm working on. So I decided that when the house was clear, when everybody had stopped, that was during the night, during late night and early morning, where everything was quiet and you could really listen to your inner being speaking to you. So, and that was just so refreshing. And I was coming up with ideas. I was hearing and seeing events of the past. I was trying to put things in perspective. And I was like, what in the world is going on? But that was the best time for me to write, to think, to reflect, and to organize my thoughts into meaningful paragraphs.
Awesome. 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 So were there any resources or research that greatly influenced your content and your ideas when you were writing?
Yes. Being that I am in the process of reading several books on the civil rights era, and I'm reading some things now on equity and looking at conversations, courageous conversations. So all of those things kept coming back to me, those authors and what they were saying to me. And I would put what I was doing at that particular time to what I was doing now, and trying to piece it together to put a story together that had sense and meaning, and that if someone else were to listen to it, they could see and feel the clarity of it and be able to follow. So, I did listen to those things that I've read. But one of the things, before you can write, you must read, and you must have different perspective, and you must understand other people's experiences and what it is that people will want to hear. You're talking about an influencer. So trying to put it all together and make meaning, because people need to have some clarity, but they need to know that I can identify with what it is this person have written. So the audience to me was very important. I always thought about the audience.
And that is so true, because you want the audience, is like the audience need to feel that you are talking directly to them.
Yes.
And it's going to be something that's going to be meaningful, that's going to help them in their walk, or even if they decide that they want to write a book, or because of some of the other authors are so wonderful, they are saying they are going to write their own books. It's just been a joy, being on here with you guys just to talk about your experience, because everybody had their various experiences, and that is just so powerful to just walk away with knowing that the experience that you had blessed you, to be able to keep on wanting to do more in this arena as far as writing is concerned,
Yeah, I always kind of feared writing, because people read your writing and there are many interpretations of what they thought you've written. Right. So I have to, be very careful and cautious of that. And so writing was not something that I really embraced when I was younger. However, you get more seasoned and mature, and you become more of an active listener. You find that your voice in the passage of writing is probably more powerful than you're verbalizing it sometimes. Yeah. So, I'm beginning to feel a little bit better about this whole element of writing.
And it just makes such an impact in people's lives, when they read it on and, are able to read what you've written. It just brings about sometimes change in a person's life, their perspective on things. So, our voice needs to be heard. So our stories need to be heard in the earth. And so, that was the good thing for me when I learned about the importance of leaving that legacy behind, that somebody's going to pick up what I've written, and it will do something. It will bless them,
yes,
or help them in their walk in life,
Yes. And I think that this book that we have embarked upon, Influencers, I think that everybody, no matter who you are, your gender, or what it is that you represent, or what how you feel or don't feel about leadership, or how you feel about people, I think that our this book that we have written has an entry point for everybody to go into this book and read and find yourself.
Mhm.
And to me, you don't always find that in today's literature. But
Right.
with this particular book, I think everybody can think about influencers, because we all have had influencers in our
Mhm.
lives. So
Yeah.
it is a common kind of title, but it is wide,
Yeah.
and it is expansive. So therefore, to whomever is reading, you're going to get what you're looking for. There is something in this book, in one of the chapters, that you're going to be able to embrace who you are, and have a very good takeaway.
I love it. I love it. Because in our walk as influencers, I never thought, even when I was teaching, I didn't think on the line that I was really influencing people. I knew I loved what I was doing. But, as you get older and you look back and you come upon people that you might have worked with, how they impacted you and how they influenced your life to make you do what you're doing now. Because I look at you were such an impact in my life when I was in the teaching arena, where you really were an influencer in my life with even some of the things that I'm doing today. So I just want to put that out there, that you made a big impact on me, on how you work with leaders and how you influence the leaders and how you had them in mind with every strategic plan that you made. And so I just want to give you kudos, because that was very powerful for me, how you influenced my life when we worked together, and that was years ago.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you. But one of the things that I find, that it's like I have this unique ability to see people's gifts. And I definitely saw your gift. After that first conversation with you, I knew that I wanted to work with you, and that you could do things to help children on a level that we had never embarked upon. And that as we were going through new territory during that time, and the whole age of technology, and
Yes.
you were there to wrap it around and to embrace it, and to try to make meaning, and then take it to the next level. And you didn't have a fear. You were one who would say, okay, I'm going to try something new, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to work well. And when we saw the products, we felt like, oh, we have made so many strides. Look at where we are with technology. So you were one of those heroes and one of those leaders right there, helping us to march into the technological age. You were there for that. And I appreciate that, because we didn't know who would actually want to take the leadership in that. And you were there to do that for the school division. And it was awesome. And I enjoyed my journey and ride with you. And I learned so much from you guys. And I was just, given a little star in what I was doing because of you guys' impact with me. So you helped me to put a little star in my heart, that know that you would come along and do these things and keep it going even after I left. So, I thought this was just absolutely wonderful, that you had that gift that we were looking for. So you need to talk about your gifts and your willingness to learn. And you always remained a learner, even today. Look at all the things you've learned. Look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Yeah. Oh, don't make me cry. Ooh. But anyway. Well, so can you share any other insights into your writing style, techniques that help you effectively convey your message in the chapter? And I know you probably hit on some of it, but were there
Okay.
some other things that you would like to share as far as your insights go?
So I think about overall my message coming from leadership, educational leadership, my message coming from being a community activist, my message coming from trying to get young whether it's females or males, to the point where they can become leaders and understand how they impact and influence others. So it comes from all of those driving vehicles kind of coming together and stopping at a point. And
Yeah.
so when we get to the stop sign, we kind of stop and we, take a breath, and you say, okay, and before we move to the caution of yellow, we need to stop here at red and find out how do we organize and put things into categories.
Yeah.
And you have your mind is racing when you're thinking about things. Your mind is racing, so you have to stop and kind of plan and well, you can't put that here, but you need to put it here. So you need to organize. And
Yes.
as you organize and bring order, then you can go to the yellow. You go to your caution light. And once you get to your caution light, you look at things and say, are there some things here that I need to filter? Should I say this? Should I not say this? Should I put this in? So when you get to that yellow light, that caution light, you're there. So you're like putting in filters, and you're trying to make sure you have the things in that you really want to say, and that it really connects to your theme. And you think about how your audience is going to perceive it, and then you move from the yellow caution light and you go to green. And when you go to green, you know that you've written something that you feel will address this particular title or heading that you're working on, or theme. And then you say, okay, so this fit nicely. So then you can go back to red and you start over again. You stop, you think about all your thoughts, and you got it all. As I say, the chaos. I kind of like my theory is always chaos, because it's messy. Things
Yeah.
are messy, and it's almost like a tossed salad. You kind of throw it up and it falls down, and does it look nice and presentable? Is it saying something to the people that's going to eat it, or to the audience who's going to read it? So that there's a lot of variables there, and you want to make sure that everything is such that the audience really is getting the message that you're writing. So then you go again from your red stoplight to your caution light yellow, and then to your green light to go. And it becomes a cyclic thing.
Yes.
That's the system that you actually work with.
I love that. I love it. I love it. So overall, what did you learn about yourself during this process?
Um, that sometimes I can have so many thoughts, it's hard for me to organize the thoughts. Like when I started.
Yes. Because
when I started, I'm thinking about it, I said, I can only do so many. I have a word count that I need to stay within the parameter. I have a theme that I need to develop, and I need to be concise, and not to just all over the place with my chaos and my messiness. I need to bring it to some uniform and order where people can actually enjoy it, because I do see it as a story.
Yes.
And we all need to listen to a good story and have takeaways when we leave. So that was my thing, to be able to inspire the reader to actually, maybe want to know a little bit more. Maybe it could lead to a book from me. I don't know.
I see a whole book now. I see.
I don't know.
Yeah. I see it. So now that your chapter is complete, what aspects of the writing experience did you find most rewarding?
To see the finished product, knowing that I had so many draft copies, and the rewriting process, just reading something and say, oh, that's not what I'm saying. And I'll just, that whole thing, I'll just get rid of it and start anew. And you constantly do that. And then when it gets to the final chapter and you're reading that final draft that's going to be published, and you said, oh, wow, look at this. Did I really say this? Look at how I'm saying it in a way that it sounds like someone else's voice, but I know it's me. And so it's the leadership within that's always coming to surface, and to let the audience know that I have another point or perspective or another tidbit that they can actually take with them.
I love it, because the same thing for me when I went back over and I looked, as I said all of that. Wow. But because your mind just, once you start writing, it just overflows you. It just,
yes.
You're like you said, you got to get some organization and say, well, this needs to go here. This needs to go here, to try to keep it organized where you're not all over the place. And, you know, it takes time to do that. So you're absolutely right. Did you ever experience writer's block while you were doing it?
Um, Not writer's blocks as much as just an overload, because
Okay.
I wanted to say too much stuff. And I said, okay, Jim, getting stuck here, you know, and that's why I had to go back to that stop sign
Yeah.
and kind of get myself organized and get myself back onto the path where I can, you know, keep moving forward.
Right.
It's just one of those things that, because it is an experience, because you know other people going to be reading it, and you don't know how other people are going to be perceiving it, and
Right.
so it's like you're always trying to put forth your best
Yes.
piece forward. That's all, you know.
Absolutely. Well, guys, you see running across the screen, if you want to get in contact with Dr. Jones, that's her email address. And this is Dr. Smith Jones. And I just want to show you this beautiful picture of her. And she's one of the co-authors in the new book, Influencers Stepping Out in Boldness. And you can also purchase that book from her and support her in this endeavor of being a part of this collaboration. And I just want to say that we had a ball doing it. You know, everybody, I mean, this group was just spectacular. I mean, a bunch of wonderful women to be a part of a group together. No one can tell me that women can't work together, because there is so much that we can do together as a unit, and it comes out and be a positive impact on someone else's life.
Yes,
Yes.
and thank you, Val, for the experience. And women, the women rock. So they
Yes.
were, you know, awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. And I'll talk to you in just a few more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so guys, that was Dr. Smith Jones. And like I said, she was a part of this collaboration, and we had a blast doing this collaboration. And before I go, look, you know, I always tell you guys to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to that YouTube channel, Stepping Out with Valerie Harris. And if you need any help, or if you want to be a part of my show, you can go to www.talktimeval.com and you can sign up for a meet and greet. If you need to talk about any areas of your life that you're having difficult with, because I am a coach, I am a business consultant. And so you can contact me right there on my website. Sign up to be a guest. You can sign up for meet and greet. You can sign up to get the book. You can just get in touch with me at that address right there. And so this is all that we have for you today. And I'm so glad you came out to join us with me talking to the co-authors of the new book, Influencers Stepping Out in Boldness. And guess what, guys? That's all I have for you today. And thank you for coming out, joining us. And we will be talking to you a little bit later. Talk Time Val.